Right, so this is a pretty miserable job, I'm not going to lie. Also not a load of progress made with the spade. I think I'm going to have to get a hammer drill and start popping it off. Looks like he's used hardwall as the backing and he's kind of smeared that onto the brick or the limestone plaster that was here, and then stuck that sort of wall board, tile boards on. He stuck them on and then put tiles over the top of it. So yeah, it's pretty ropey, but very, very solid. I mean, he clearly did not want this coming off. So anyway, I'm going to get my hammer drill and then go to town on this. I'll be back in a minute. Morning campers, next day. Smashed off a few of them. Cleared out all of the rubble sacks that I had filled with, the old manky stuff. The loft insulation, because the skip has arrived. Trusty angle grinder, hammer drill. So, also last night while it was dark, I have drawn the line where we want to cut the wall. You can see that his wallpaper was not perfectly level, but still, that wallpaper has been there for many, many years, so he did a pretty good job. So we're pretty confirmed we're not going to be having a shower in here. I know that's going to upset many of you. Good job it's not your bathroom. As a family, we love to be able to sit and lie here and look out of the window and look at the lovely view in the evening when we have a bath. Can't do that if you've got a shower, and that is the only wall that a shower would make sense. There would not make sense, and I don't like them on the side because they spray everywhere. So that's that sorted. We will gain a bit of extra depth here because this is quite built out. How built out it is and how it is built out, I don't know exactly. I am inclined to do the worst, most yucky, horrible bit first and cut this wall to get rid of it first. I think I might do that just because it really is the nastiest job. It's early in the morning. Well, it's not actually, it's 10 past 10 now, so no neighbours are going to be upset, but it means that I've then got the rest of the day to kind of get on with other stuff. I personally prefer getting rid of the hardest job first. Having said that, this is also surprisingly tough. I don't know if that's just old plaster or if it's hardwall on top of more hardwall. They are different colours and textures, and it isn't the same as this here, which is the old lime and horsehair render. So yeah, stick it in the comments. What do you think that is? What do you think that stuff is? It's going to have to go. But I do think once I've done all of this, I am just going to stick up plasterboard and just skim the whole thing. I'll just have the whole room skimmed. This is going to come out, which I thought was going to be a nice easy job, until I discovered that there is an electrical cable running the whole way up and down here, which I need to identify, but I suspect feeds that light there. This used to be the boiler cupboard. So that cable runs all the way down, and this was the junction box for the boiler, so that got decommissioned ages ago. It runs all the way down under the floor, and I suspect meets up at something under here, so that'd be fun. I'm probably going to investigate the cabling once I have stripped out everything else, because then with the floor is up and the walls are all bare and clear, I can see exactly what I need to chase out. Final point. We are probably just going to, once I've cut this back, I'll see exactly what is going on with the ceiling, and I will then be able to decide whether or not I just put plasterboard screwed up into this. I mean, as it is, look, I'm 6'1" and I cannot touch the ceiling at full stretch. Can if I tiptoe, but that's cheating. So losing a centimetre of ceiling really is not a problem if it just makes my life easier. wall is stripped back mostly. I actually don't think there's very much below the tile, sorry, below the rim of the bath there, so that's as good as done. This wall here, I don't know if you can see in there, has separated from this quite a while ago. So that's quite interesting. It's also quite interesting that it wasn't toothed in, the bricks weren't toothed in. This is brick, these are kind of like air bricks, they're very, very dense and heavy and incredibly strong, but they are non-structural. So that doesn't really matter. But perhaps originally his wallpaper lines were level and the whole wall has just dropped slightly to the left. That seems quite likely to me. I'm not sure when that would have happened. This wall hasn't moved, this brick one, and we know that because the steel beams in the loft that we installed, if you haven't seen that video you can check it out up here, but those steel beams are still completely level and flat because I checked them with the spirit level, so it's not anything to do with the loft conversion that we've done. It could have happened at any point really. Anyway, now is the time for probably the bit I've been least looking forward to, most dreading, getting the angle grinder and cutting this line down here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this door shut. I can switch that off actually. Leave that door shut, which will contain some of the dust, and I can pull this door shut, which will contain some of the dust, and then I've got this window open, those windows shut, and I can basically just go for it with my dust mask and my goggles on and all that, and just kind of go to town. It's not great. I'm not looking forward to it. So the time lapse didn't work. It only lasted for about 3 seconds and was complete dust and blackout. But I'm glad I had my face mask on and I cut the whole way down the line. I managed to stick to the line almost the whole way to the bottom. A little bit harder there by the bath, but it was fairly clean cut otherwise. Now that I've cut that line, I can start stripping these tiles off above the bath, same as I did on the long wall there. Once I've done that, I'm then able to move on to removing this part of the wall here on the left, because the part above the bath is due to be staying. It's just after midday, so 12:15, and I did that time check so that I could see how long it would take me to remove the rest of the tiles, because the ones on the other wall had not been easy to get off. So I'm interested to see how long it's going to take me to strip that small section of tile there. That tiny stretch of wall took the best part of 30, maybe 35 minutes. That was really difficult. This kind of compacted hardwall brick had adhered so well to the hardwall that had been laid over the top. That wasn't the lime horsehair and render, that's this stuff which just crumbles away. Basically, from this level down, they hacked off the lime horsehair and render and recoated it with 2 or even 3 layers of hardwall and something else. I mean, it is very, very strong. On the brick, it jumps off relatively easily. So this wall came off quite quickly. This one, however, was not quick at all. But I'm back to the brick. It's relatively level. It doesn't matter about it being perfectly level. You can see the depth and the thickness here of it. It doesn't matter because I'm going to be sticking aquaboard over the top that will, you know, waterproof the walls, so that'll go the whole way around because we're going to be tiling again. This stuff will come off very, very quickly because it's the lime horsehair and render. This wall, I'm not even going to bother wasting my time trying to get it off here. It's so stuck on there, it can all stay as one. I'm just going to knock the wall out. That possibly will involve another couple of cuts, maybe some horizontals and some verticals, but that'll be that. This wall here is probably going to be horrible, I wager, because it'll be exactly the same as that bathroom, the little bathroom wall that I've done. You can see here the old lime horsehair and render. That stuff comes off easily, but this stuff here is very, very strong. Anyway, time for lunch, and I'll be back in a bit.